Hello everyone, today we'll be talking about the thoracic duct, and I'm doing this video because recently in my send-ups a question came up about the course, the relations and the tributaries of the thoracic duct, and a lot of the students were at a loss. Anyways, I'll be giving a basic theoretical overview and then come on to all of these diagrams to explain the course, the relations and the tributaries. So first of all, what is the thoracic duct? This is something that can sort of like come up in MCQs. The thoracic duct is the largest lymphatic channel in the human body, right? And what about its extent? It extends from the upper part of the abdomen to the lower part of the neck. And the interesting thing about it is the fact it has a beaded appearance because of the abundance of valves. What about its course? First of all, I'll give you theoretical points and I'll show you the points in the diagram. So it is a continuation of the upper end of the cisterna chyli, right? So generally when we're talking about the arteries and the veins, we say that, for example, the brachial artery is the continuation of the axillary artery, and we tell the muscle marker. So similarly, when we're talking about the thoracic duct, we say that the thoracic duct is the continuation of the upper end of the cisterna chyli at the level of the T12 thoracic vertebra lower border, right? So this is important again for MCQs, the fact that the thoracic duct emerges as a continuation of the cisterna chyli located over here at the level of the lower border of the T12 vertebra, and it's quite clearly shown over here. This is the T12 vertebra represented as a box, and this is the lower border of it. You've probably heard of the cisterna chyli when doing the embryology of the lymphatic system. Now what happens is that the thoracic aorta, the thoracic duct, descends, and how does it enter the thorax? Because there's a diaphragm in between the abdomen and the thorax. The name of the opening is extremely important both for the thoracic duct and when we're studying the diaphragm. And the name of the opening is the aortic opening. So it enters the thorax via the aortic opening along with the two structures, the azygous vein and the thoracic aorta, as can be seen at this point by the scene over here. This is the aortic opening or the aortic hiatus, and the thoracic duct enters alongside the descending thoracic aorta. Technically it is descending, this one is descending, as well as the azygous vein, which isn't all that clear over here. Now the relations in the aortic opening are important. The azygous vein is to the right, whereas the descending thoracic aorta is to the left. Anteriorly there is a diaphragm, as you can see, and posteriorly we have the vertebral column as always, right? Now what about afterwards? In the thorax, the thoracic duct, it courses on the right side of the body in the posterior mediastinum, and the posterior mediastinum is basically part of the inferior mediastinum, and it basically continues to course vertically till the level of the T5 vertebra, at which point the thoracic duct crosses the posterior mediastinum from the right to the left at this level, and now it continues to ascend on the left side of the body, but now it is in the superior mediastinum, because the superior mediastinum is above the level of the T4 vertebra, and it's basically coursing along the left edge of the esophagus in the superior mediastinum, and then it basically enters the neck, and at the level of the transverse process of the C7 vertebra, it arches laterally like this. So the neck is basically above T1 level, right? At C7 transverse process level, it arches laterally. This is the arch, and after arching, it basically descends along the left subclavian artery, which is not shown, and drains over here, which is known as the venous angle, the left venous angle between the left internal jugular vein and the left subclavian. Very important. Now let's talk about the relations in the posterior mediastinum. In the posterior mediastinum, these two relations are the same. The azygous vein is still to the right. The descending thoracic aorta is still to the left. Anteriorly, we will still have the diaphragm for some distance. We will also have the esophagus related anteriorly, right? So the esophagus will still be anterior to it, and also the right pleural recess. This is still on the right side of the body. So the recess of the right pleura is in anterior relation. In this diagram over here, it can be clearly seen that the thoracic duct is located behind the esophagus in the posterior mediastinum. Very clear, it's even labeled. The thoracic duct is behind the esophagus. What about the posterior relations? Obviously, we'll still have the vertebral column being a posterior relation. Also, the right posterior intercostal arteries, which are branches of the descending thoracic aorta, because the descending thoracic aorta has these right posterior intercostal branches and left. Obviously, the left won't be a relation, but the right ones will be. Additionally, the terminal part of the hemiazygous. The hemiazygous is behind it, going behind it, and the terminal part is a posterior relation. Right? Pretty easy to understand. The posterior mediastinal relations aren't that difficult. Then the superior mediastinum. The esophagus is no longer anterior, as already mentioned. Rather, it is located to the right of the thoracic duct. To the left, we will simply have the pleura of the left lung. What about the anterior relation? You probably know that the arch of the aorta is located in the superior mediastinum. So the arch of the aorta is an anterior relation, right? Posterior relation will still include the vertebral column, right? And this again is better for relation. So you can see that in the superior mediastinum, the thoracic aorta is behind the aortic arch. And also it is behind the origin of the left subclavian artery in the superior mediastinum. To the right we have the esophagus, and to the left we will have the pleura. What about the neck part? The neck part is above this level. This is very difficult. These relations are very difficult because at this point, what are the anterior and what are the posterior relations? Anteriorly, we will have the left internal jugular vein and the left common carotid artery. As you can see, this is black, this is blurry, this is see-through because the left internal jugular vein and the left common carotid are actually in front of it. Over here you can see this is the left common carotid coming up, and it's not behind the arch of the aorta at this level, rather it is behind the left common carotid, and at this level it is behind the left internal jugular vein. It is also behind the left vagus, which is in the vicinity of this part. Posteriorly, we don't actually have the vertebral column, but we have the vertebral artery and the vertebral vein, and the sympathetic trunk, which is a very posterior relation. Also posteriorly, we have the left subclavian artery, right? The left subclavian artery over here is a posterior relation. You can kind of get it from this perspective that is located behind it, as well as the first part of the left subclavian artery, as well as its thyrocervical trunk. The left phrenic nerve is also behind the thoracic duct in the neck part. That's most of the important relations. There's also the prevertebral fascia that kind of covers all of these structures in the neck region, and also the medial border of the scalenus anterior, which basically attaches on the first rib, which is the boundary between the neck region and the thoracic region. So I'm hoping again this is good. Now what about the tributaries? Right, this is best shown in this diagram over here. So these are all the tributaries from the posterior mediastinal nodes and the small intercostal nodes. In the neck, three large lymphatic trunks are received. We have the left jugular trunk, which is efferents from the neck region combined, the left subclavian trunk, which is the efferents from the axillary region combined, and the left bronchomediastinal trunk, which is the efferents from the left thorax combined. Because it's thoracic duct, it basically drains all of the right and left lower halves below the diaphragm and the left part of thorax, or the left thorax above the diaphragm. Hoping this is helpful.